Yes, it's 2nd of August. It was supposed to be an eclipse today, but they only made a mistake by 2 years. Instead of 2025, it's supposed to be 2027. Now, of course, that's NASA making it. And NASA is 40% Indians working there. At least when I was there in Houston, 40% Indians. And the other thing is after the Nuremberg trials of World War II, they were supposed to have, you know, taken action against the people, but there was no graves, and they simply just appeared, and they simply were taken to the United States and given passports, and continued their research in the United States. So whatever the Nuremberg trials were against, I can't imagine, because they never took action against it. To the public, everybody thought that there was some action taken, but no. The great scientists that they sort of opposed and said that was doing wrong and convicted were only given U.S. passports and taken to the U.S. So, yeah, so most of them went to Nassau, and some of them went to a place in New Mexico known as 51. It's just called 51. They do special studies there. Okay, enough for that. Back to the spiritual world. Here we are at Radha Damodar on the 2nd. It's about, I don't know, about 6:30. And they'll open up in around 8 for the public for Arctic. They start opening up around 7, letting people in, just come in, but Arctic's at about 8 o'clock, morning Arctic. So I just dressed the deities, and because today is Saturday, the deities will be dressed in blue. So I had a nice blue outfit, so I came over here and put my deities in blue also. So we'll go in here and try not to. The other devotees are on the altar dressing, so I don't want to talk inside. It'll disturb their dressing. Oh, let's take advantage of this time, and we'll go ahead and swing the deities here. And let's get over here. Yes. Yeah, that we can swing them really good. I wish I knew the Julan song. The lady who sings the Julan song comes in about a half an hour. But we're doing okay. Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Bo, Nitai Bo. Go. Shishirara Nilamarava Kijay. Rara Nilamarava Kijay. Ah, a nice breeze on them, There's not even a fan going on here. Ah. Sometimes Krishna would make the swing go 360. I don't think I better try that one. I can get up pretty high. Ah. There. Yes. Okay. We'll have to go. Finished. And oh, glories to you guys. Mm. Mm. Very, very nice. Yeah, just a quick run around. Family members of the family taking care of the deities. Ananta Vasudeva ki jai. Bhakti Jivana Janardana Swami ki jai. Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj ki jai. Vinral Chand ki jai. Jiva Goswami ki jai. Krishnadas Kaviraj ki jai. Yeah, Kirtananda Swami from New Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada disciple. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, somebody left the light on for Bhakti Siddhanta Vamana Raj. Since they left the light on, I'm going to see if I can open up here. Wait a minute. Jai Bhaktivedanta Vamana Maharaj ki jai. Narayan Maharaj is God brother. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, also they left the light on. But actually, me and my wife put these doors on. I'm so happy to see that they're still existing. This is about 15 years old doors. But they were wooden and falling apart. Okay. Let's go see Saki Charan. This is like going into the gully. It's a beautiful gully, actually. We're walking in the gully here. Ouch. I think I better make another door for this. Now I know why they're not cleaning it. They can't even open it up. Okay. Give me a minute. I'll find something. And we'll take all those cobwebs off. Jai Saki Charan. Yeah. Here, I put you down here so you could be near your guru. And then all of a sudden you can't even get somebody to clean your... Well, that picture's got to be changed. Well, if anybody wants to give, this is a nice samadhi to fix up. He's the one who is in charge of, as he was a businessman, he was in charge of making the yoga pit for his Guru Bhaktisiddhanta. After that, he came here to Vrindavan and he renovated and made Imli Tala. So it's worth it if somebody wants to give a donation. You know, I would say nothing less than 50,000. Oh, Jai Ho, Jai Ho. Yeah, no less than 50,000. Yeah, I wouldn't think of less than 50,000. Okay, let's see if we can fit through here. Man. We'll swing down where we left off. And even Bhakti Bhai Baba Puri Maharaj, they left the light on. Somebody must be having the light that turns it off for everybody. Yeah. I had set up a light, an inverter light, so there was always light here. But that inverter was run by a solar system and everything, and that takes quite a work to keep going. So I stopped that. Hamsaduda, Hari Bo. He sang so beautiful. And of course, Jayadev Goswami. Jayadev Goswami, Jayadev Goswami. And now what I did is, as you can see, all right, let's see if we can, I don't know how to turn on the light. Okay, maybe you can see them. There's two sets of footprints because I wanted Padmavati, his wife, and himself here because that's who came here. To Vrindavan, Jayadev Goswami, he left Jagannath Puri and he came here. And he also wrote songs here, but no one wrote them down. So it's a pity. And he even had a temple here. But it fell apart. And his deities that were in the temple, he's always calling them Jaya Radha Madhava. So those deities are on the altar of Radha Damodar. But those deities were not here on Radha Damodar, but after Jayadev Goswami passing away. Now remember, Jayadev Goswami is about maybe at least 200 to 300 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the Samadhi here of Jayadev Goswami, the original one here, we dated it to about 350 or 400 years old. So his society fell apart while the Goswamis were still active here in Vrindavan. So they brought the deities over to Radha Damodar. Jai Radha Madhava. And I like that we put Jayadev Goswami and Padmavati. As you can see, the person who renovated it the last time, they only put Jayadev Goswami and PAD. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's leave it at that. Biraham Bira and his queen Sulochana. So we have Biraham Bira and his queen Sulochana. We have Padmavati and Jayadev Goswami over there. And Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, right there. Bhakti Daitya Maharaj, and also Bhakti Vallabhatirtha Maharaj. And this person is in Advaita direct line. Bhaktivedanta Madhusudana Maharaj always comes here to this. He knows the history. I don't know the history. Okay. Getting late, so let's go. There's the well that the Goswamis used. Wasn't built up like that, but that was the well that they were using. Here's the kitchen. Yeah, here's the kitchen. Krishna's kitchen. I wonder if the cook's in there. I'm going to see if the cook, I know the cook. Cook ne, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
No, the cook. Yeah. Vinay, okay. No, he's not there. She's a wonderful person. Old man, but he can cook for 100 people easily. I can't even can't understand how he can do it. And we'll walk down here. We are coming to the Panchatattva. This is all built up by Akshapatra. Madhu Pandit, my god brother, he had them build this all up. Take a nice little glimpse around here. Bhugarbha, whether uncle or whether nephew, first one, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent here. Bhugarbha was sent with Lokanath Swami to renovate all of Vrindavan pastime places. Jai Bhugarbha ki jai. Thank you very much, Bhugarbha. And we're here with Rupa Goswami, Samadhi, and Bhajan Kutir. This is the Samadhi. I've got to say that picture was small. I mean, very small. The writing down there in Bengali now, that is Bengali writing. Because the only 2 newspapers here in Vrindavan were writing in Bengali. That tells you about that picture. That is a picture of Rupa Goswami looking at Akbar, the Muslim emperor at the time. Akbar was an incredible person. His father was incredible too. They helped the Indians out. They gave them land and things like that. They weren't totally against the Indians. And Akbar's father died in a battle, and he was 13 years old when he took over the seat. At 13 years old. And then Akbar, not in Agra, but just outside of Agra, near a town called Fe, F-E, Fe, he established a Hindu-Muslim community for studying the Hindu-Muslim scriptures. And some young Muslim boys recently found quotations in the Vedas about the Muslim religion, which made them very happy. Now, that picture was very small, and I had to get somebody professional to amplify it that much and not lose it. So I amplified that. Before it was just a small little picture, about, I would say, 6 inches by 6 inches. And I had that amplified. Because it's amazing, the look in the eyes of Rupa Goswami, and he's looking at Akbar. And that's half of the picture. Someone in, when the picture was in Radha Kund, the only existing picture in Radha Kund, they cut Akbar off. And this is all they gave. So, of course, you know, that's quite a while back. So you can't. That's a miracle that even exists. And on that is a pencil drawing by the scribe of Akbar, and on the leg of Rupa Goswami is written Baba, because Akbar would always come close to Rupa Goswami and call him Baba, like as if he is his guru. There's another person that he would do the same thing with, and that was Sri Haridas Babaji of Nidhivan. Yeah. He would also call him Baba. And one time in Nidhivan, Akbar Goswami was telling his guru that he's living too poor, he needs something else better, that he could give him something else better. And Haridas asked his servant to please take him to the backside of the room. So he took him to the backside of the room where you throw all the remains that you don't want. It's not like plastic garbage or anything like that, but the remains. And there were jewels and gold and silver. And then Akbar understood that where he was standing on Chintamani land, so, and Haridas didn't need any more wealth than he already had. So, yeah, Haridas Thakur ki jai, Sri Rupa Goswami ki jai. And Akbar. I can't just neglect everybody. Huh. Okay. Now, you can't look in right now, because it's not, but this is Srila Prabhupada. Here's where he would sit. It wasn't so decorative, but he would sit here, and then he would look at the samadhi of Rupa Goswami and Bhajan Kutir Rupa Goswami. So he'd look at these two places, and sometimes people would hear him singing in late night with his harmonium, and then after singing, he would start sweeping and asking Rupa Goswami in a crying mood. He would ask Rupa Goswami to please help him, that he had a mission for his guru. Oh, it's fantastic. Prabhupada, this is where he would cook. This is actually the place that they gave him for cooking. And looking over here at Rupa Goswami. Oh, it's amazing. The history here in this temple is amazing. And I didn't know, but it's logical that Srila Prabhupada stayed many places in Vrindavan, and I was thinking that he went from here, or Vrindavan, and over there at Keshigat, because at one point he was in Keshigat, where he wrote some poems. So I thought he went from here over to Mathura into a Bengali Dharmashala, and then from there, Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj forced him to go to the temple, the Gaudiya Math, that Narayana Maharaj was in charge, you know, because Narayana Maharaj was seeing that he didn't even have a cloth to put down to sleep on. So he said, no, we pick up all your stuff and you're going to the Mat. So he was barely with anything. So we're very grateful to Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj for taking our Prabhupada out of his really bad situation and taking him to the Mathura Mat, Keshavji Gaudiya Mat. That Mat had just begun. I think it was 1954. 1954 was an incredible time here. Ananta Vasudeva had just come in 1954. Ananta Vasudeva, he lasted from 1937 until around 1950s. And then he decided that no, he didn't want to, first of all, he even told them he didn't want to take sannyas, but they asked him to take sannyas because that's how the acharya is seen, as sannyasi, not in white. So that was appropriate. But then he said, no, I would rather not. And he actually made even a statement to his godbrothers and told them, I am leaving, and I'm leaving with my wife. From my understanding, because the history is not totally known, from my understanding, Ananta Vasudeva was already married. That's the small little monkey. Wait until you hear the big monkey. No, watch out for the monkeys around here. Yeah, so Ananta Vasudeva, he was already married into the family of Bose. You know, everybody knows Chandra Bose. Yeah. The one that helped out in the freedom fighting. Well, that family is very wealthy and well-to-do, and he married into it. But he never took anything from them. He always just on his own with his wife. Yeah. So he said, I'm leaving the post of Acharya, and I'm going out. He didn't tell them where he was going out because he knew they would bother him. So I'm pretty sure that was around 1954. So if you look at history, Srila Prabhupada, 1954 or around there, he comes. Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj, under the order of Bhakti Aprikyan Keshava Maharaj, was sent to Mathura to establish a temple, a Gaudiya Math temple. And so Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj also came. So 1954 is a jam-packed time. Maybe 1950s, 1954, but 1954 was big time. Gaudiya Math established. Srila Prabhupada is going into that Gaudiya Math. And if you look, he didn't get sannyas until 1959. Of course, Prabhupada didn't enter into the Math until 1959. And after a year, then Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj convinced him to take sannyas. A little bit of history that makes you feel so good. Of course, this is the room where Srila Prabhupada stayed. It's quite a large room, And then he would sit in a manner where he could look at the altar. And the only deity he could see was the biggest deity. He couldn't see Radha Damodar from his room, but he could see Radha Vrindavan Chandra. But Radha Vrindavan Chandra is the deities of Krishnadas Kaviraj. So from here, he could look over, meditate on Krishnadas Kaviraj, and such a great writer, and ask him for help. And then from this room where he would cook, he would meditate on Rupa Goswami, who was also a great prolific writer, and just such wonderful atmosphere here. Okay, it looks like it's time to go home. Just a quick little thing right here. Look at that house. 1 story, 2 story, 3 story, and 4 up on top. Now, let's go history. When Rupa Goswami's found his deity, Radha Govinda, when he found his deity, Radha Govinda, he found them, just the top of the deity was able to be seen after digging 4 stories down. 4 stories down. Now, how is it possible that 4 stories down the deity was? It's because there is no platform. There's no solid platform here. Other places you'll find a limestone platform underneath. You can go in most places in this area of the proper Vrindavan. In this area you can go about 125 feet down and you will not find any limestone platform. There is no stability. And this town has been built up and fallen apart many, many times, and all it has to do is Krishna takes it under. I investigated and found out from the earthquake people that of all places, this is 10. Vrindavan is 10 on the probability of having an earthquake because it's so unstable. It's very unstable. An earthquake could swallow that whole place in a moment. Yep. So I just, hope and pray it doesn't happen in my time, but we know it'll disappear again. Yeah. And if somebody would like to discuss it, you can go to Dwarka. And if you just ask the people in the Dwarka temple, they would tell you, yeah, Sadi Sat Baje. Yeah, so the people in Dwarka can take you underneath the temple that is existing now and show you the top of the temple that was existing before that temple. So that temple, you could say, is about 150 or more feet under. It's all sand. There's nothing to it. It's just sand. You just take a nice earthquake, and then it's down. So this will also disappear in time. Hopefully not in my time. Krishna has his incredible ways of cleanup. Yeah, let's clean up the area and begin again. The hill of Govardhan was not a small hill. The hill of Govardhan at one point could put a shadow on Mathura. And Mathura is it's 19 kilometers from Govardhan to the main road. And then Mathura, middle of Mathura is about 6. Adivo, my great friend. Okay. Adivo, adivo. So that's, about 26 kilometers. Yes. Adivo. Yeah, he goes to see the Yamuna. Okay. I better get going before too many monkeys come out because I got a plastic bag on my shoulder.